Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you would realize that one of my favorite fragrances of all time is Alexandria II by Xerjoff. So anytime I hear it's being compared to something being called a dupe of it, I get super excited. I get super curious to at least try it out because this is quite pricey. So why not? I would really love to have something that is like, you know, much more affordable and smells like this one or even slightly close to this one. So on that quest, I've tried Ram's Gold because I think about a year ago, Ram's Gold was being, you know, thrown around as a dupe of Alexandria II. I did a video of that. I will link it in the description if you have not, you know, seen it. It is not. And of late, I've seen Oudain by Lattafa, you know, Oudain by Lattafa being paraded as a dupe of Alexandria II. So I have my thought here and let's see how it really, you know, compares. So this is a powdery woody lavender scent with a heavy presence of that palisandre rosewood with some lavender musk, very smooth, like a hint of very polished oud. It has a very slight animalic touch to it, very sort of Middle Eastern in nature. It's one of the best, you know, oud fragrances I have ever come across, you know, and I would like to have a replacement for this at a cheaper price. However, how does this one smell like? This on its own is a woody, it's a more of a woody scent, although it's been said to be a blend of two ouds. It says blend of two ouds, but to me this is much more woody than oud. It has the following notes and I'll read it out. So it has at the top notes cardamom, mint, bergamot. Middle it has woody notes, spicy notes, cumin, cinnamon, and then lavender, as well as orange blossom. At the base it has vanilla, tonka, sandalwood, cedar, and then ambergris. This I would simply describe as a very oriental woody gourmand scent. This is a very beautiful, spicy, woody, much more woody than oud gourmand scent. Honestly, it's one of the most beautiful woody, you know, spicy gourmand Middle Eastern fragrances I have come across, like ever. It is smoothly blended. It reminds me of something like very delicious. It has if woods, you know, can you imagine woods being gourmand, you know, a woody gourmand scent? It is very unique, quite different from a lot of fragrances. It is quite similar to one other fragrance that I'll talk about, you know, in the course of the video. However, it doesn't compare to Alexandria II by Xerjoff in any way, shape, or form. They are like totally different worlds apart. This is much more of that powdery lavender with a touch of that, you know, very sophisticated oud. Whilst this one, although it's been marketed as a blend of two ouds, I get much of that cedar and a very creamy sandalwood. The sandalwood here is superb. It's one of the best sandalwood fragrances, you know, I have come across, or one of the best blends when it comes to sandalwood that I have, you know, ever encountered. It is very creamy, very polished. The cedar here is not super uber masculine. This fragrance is quite unisex to me. It doesn't lean either way. It doesn't lean feminine. It doesn't lean masculine to me at all. It is one of the best blends of a cedar, sandalwood, you know, creamy vanilla with a very sweet orange, you know, blossom. You can really smell that orange blossom as soon as you spray this one, and that fresh bergamot, that, you know, slight mint. It has a minty touch to it. It is very beautiful. The cardamom here, it's amazing. Nothing overshadows each other. The blend is amazing. I would highly recommend that you check this one out if you're on the market for a woody gourmand fragrance. It doesn't give me oud. There is no agarwood in this one, although it says a blend of two ouds. It rather gives me that creamy sandalwood plus that, you know, very polished cedar. It is like a very wearable woody fragrance for both men and women. The blend is excellent. I love the gourmand touches it has. That cumin, cardamom, vanilla, tonka. Those, you know, vanilla and tonka are quite prominent, quite deep, intense, very rich. It has some richness about this one that, you know, it's unmissable. I love this fragrance, honestly. Although to me it's really shot up really quickly, you know, as part of my top 10 fragrances, like, or Lattafas. I will not compare it to Alexandria II. You know, the scent profile, they don't smell alike at all. No, I will not even consider them cousins. They are not even cousins. They are just friends, you know, friends, very polished friends, you know, friends who watch out for each other, but they have like different characters altogether. They're not like birds of the same feathers. They are not in the same family. This one is much more of that palisander rosewood with that very sophisticated, polished, slight animalic oud. This one is more woody, more gourmand, much more gourmand than this one. You know, that is how I find them. And this one is much more powdery, and there's no powderiness to this. This one is more of that vanilla, orange blossom, cumin, woods, creamy sandalwood, the cedar. You know, it's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful Lattafa fragrances I have come across this year. I think this is quite an old release. I don't think it's a 2023 or 2024 release. I think maybe 2021 or 2022. However, it is one of the best, one of the very best. There is one fragrance in my collection that this one really reminds me of, and that is going to be Amir Oudh Intense, also by Lattafa. These two I can consider cousins, you know, I will just call them cousins. However, this one has oud. It says that it has agarwood, whilst this one is just those woody, you know, notes. And there is vanilla. They both share vanilla. This one has tonka, this one does not. This, however, has that burnt sugar, smoky vanilla, you know, agarwood touch, whilst this one is much more of that orange blossom, cardamom, cumin, a thick, much more resonant vanilla, you know, than this one. They are quite close, but I think this one is like a slightly watered down version of Oudain by Lattafa. Although I'll call them cousins, they also sort of, you know, in a way take on different direction, you know, but they take on different direction and meet, you know, eventually at a dry down. This one is much more resonant, much more thicker. This one is much more lighter, although this has been considered like a very potent, long-lasting, thick, deep, rich fragrance. This surpasses that strength, that potency, that performance. It surpasses it in every way. Even scent-wise, it's like twice as thick, twice as long-lasting, twice as beautiful. There is something about Oudain that I find much more superior to Amir Oudh, although to me this is one of the best that has come out of Lattafa in the last couple of years. Like, no doubt, one of the best that has come out. Is still a lot of people's favorite. It's still one of my favorites, but after having this one, I think I prefer this slightly, you know, not like slightly, like much more, you know, over Amir Oudh Intense, you know. But I'll give credit to this one, you know, although I find this one like a lighter, probably much more wearable, you know, cousin to this one might not be for everyone, you know. It is much more thicker. If you have Amir Oudh Intense and you love it, I'm sure you're absolutely going to prefer this one slightly better over this one, because there is some intensity and some sophistication about this, you know. It is not missing from this one, no, not at all. There is no sophistication missing from this one. However, this is a little superior to me, in my opinion, but they're about 70 to 80% similar. I don't think it's going to be super redundant to have each other, although I can see how redundant it can be. Honestly, you don't need both of them. But if you're almost through with your Amir Oudh Intense and you want to probably pick up a second bottle, I would advise that you take this one. You know, you pick up a bottle of Oudain. However, these are much more closer than this one and then Alexandria II. They are not close at all. They don't have anything in common except that they both have that Middle Eastern, you know, woody or woody nuance or like scent profile. But aside that, they took on very different direction when it comes to the scent profile. I think I'm back to the drawing board on a hunt for a dupe for this Alexandria II by Xerjoff. I love this. It's one of my all-time favorites. This is fast becoming like a replacement for my Amir Oudh Intense, although that is not what I was looking for, but this one is really doing it for me now. But it is not a dupe for Alexandria II by Xerjoff. Nonetheless, beautiful, sophisticated, woody, slightly animalic, polished animalic, just like how the animalic nuance in this one is very polished, but it lacks the powderiness, that lavender. It has lavender, but it's not as pronounced as the one that, you know, we get in Alexandria II by Xerjoff. So between this and then Ram's Gold, if you ask me, between this and Ram's Gold, I would say this one is maybe like 40% close to this, but Ram's Gold is like totally different from this one at all. It doesn't come close at all. So that is all I have about Oudain by Lattafa for you. It's an amazing addition to my collection. I love this one. I would highly recommend this one. It is nothing to be afraid of. It is nothing to, you know, scare you, because I'm saying it's animalic and, you know, woody, not at all. It's a very excellent blend, very smooth, very polished, very sophisticated. It's like one of the best that has come out from Lattafa in like recent years, you know. So I'll highly recommend this. However, it is not a dupe for Alexandria II by Xerjoff. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.